happy April Fool's Day. This is Chris Likeness with GottaBeMobile.com, and today I am going to show y'all a new ROM that I installed this weekend, and I did a lot of little work customizing my layout. While we're telling you about this new ROM, I will do a restart and let you see the boot animation, which I'll show you how I pulled that off. It's a really neat add-on that this new ROM put on there. So anyway, the ROM is that I used to use was codenamed Android. I used Nova Launcher on top of it to make my icons, give myself more icons, better grid on my home screen. So anyway, what I've decided to do after trying several ROMs and adding software, taking software off, putting themes on, taking themes off, I wanted to go ahead and wipe a clean slate and I restored my Galaxy Nexus back to stock, except for being unlocked, and then I installed a new ROM called Gummy, and the version of Gummy, this is for the CDMA Galaxy Nexus, which is the Verizon version, and it is version 0.9.0. It has a ton of functionality built into it, a lot of really neat modifications to the actual stock UI. It's got really cool, it's got some really nice backgrounds built in. Not that it's hard to do all that. It's got a really cool launcher that it added to it, and as you can see, that's the little logo. With this launcher, this is I'm booted up now. I can go straight to the camera by sliding that over. I can go to just being unlocked, or I can assign applications, and I can drag this over to Gmail, Facebook, or Yammer, or I can just unlock it like I showed you. So anyway, here's my new excuse me, my new screen, and here's something interesting that I'll show you. As you can see, I can't go anywhere because I've actually assigned just one start screen for my installation. I don't need anything else. I've got everything I want right here. I've got folders right here. That's it. That's all I need. I've got my 5 icons down there, my commonly used junk, and these are folders, even though they don't look like folders because of a modification, and that's part of this ROM. So anyway, I'll give you a little brief look at the screen here first. This is a 1x4 or a 4x1. I'm not sure exactly how it says, but it's 4 tall and 1 wide, and it's comes from a application called I think it's One More Clock right here. One More Clock, and it's One More Clock has a lot of different clock widgets that you can get. It's free. This 40% there, that shows my battery use, how much battery I have left, and it's a Beautiful Widgets, which is another widget application. Beautiful Widgets 1x1, and it's got a theme of just text. It just goes by 10%. It's not going to give an exact. If I want an exact, I can actually click on it. It'll tell me that I'm at 43%. So get back here. This is another cool little thing. This is an application called, I forgot the name of it off the top of my head. Let's see here. See if I can find it real fast. As you can see, I've got a lot more real estate for icons here too, and I'll show you how I did that. I'm not finding it off the quick glance here. Looking over the camera is kind of difficult. Oh heck, what was that called? It's on this last page, I think. Simple Text, and it creates icons 1x2 or 2x1 or a 1x1 of just whatever text, and you can link it to actually accomplish, to launch an application shortcut or whatever. And just for personality, I put my name there, and when I click on it, it takes me to Facebook. And I just, I didn't want to waste the space with nothing, so I added Facebook to it. So anyway, underneath here is a 4x1 or 1x4, whichever way they say it, with a theme, with a real nice theme, which from Beautiful Widgets, which you could theme. There's themes out there for Beautiful Widgets that you can download that are awesome. So under here are 1x1 switches that are also Beautiful Widgets, and then under here, this is another application for doing text, and I did it because this one only allows 1x1 and 1x2s. This one is called Amazing Text Free, and it allows for 4x1s, and what I did was just, you know, to fill this space here that was voided, I put GottaBeMobile.com, and I actually linked it to a shortcut which takes me to the posts that I make on GottaBeMobile.com. So and then down here we have folders, and the folders, I took the backgrounds off, so excuse me, this is a good time to actually show you Apex Launcher, which is built into the Gummy ROM that I installed. And you can get there by going to settings. When you hit settings, you've got add, you can add an icon, whatever, and that brings up this menu, Apex Action, Shortcuts, Widgets, whatever. Or you can change the wallpaper, manage apps, Apex settings, system settings, lock the desktop, or help. So we're going to go to Apex settings. And here you can change a lot of options. Home screen options, you can change the number of screens, the default screen, which would be, you know, if you hit the home button, which one to take it to. Automatic grid size, portrait grid, and I changed it to 6x5. You can go, I believe, up to 9x9, or 7, excuse me. 7 high, 7 wide, and that's a little bit too much. Instead of doing that, what I did was I actually changed the the LCD pixel density, and I'll show you that in a moment too. Vertical margin, medium, horizontal margin, preview animation, infinite scrolling, and what that is if you've got 3 today screens or home screens or whatever you want to call them, you can flip left to right, or, you know, continue flipping one particular direction. Instead of hitting the end, it'll start over to what was over on the left, or you can do vice versa. Turn that off, obviously, because I don't need it, because I'm going with 1 and 1. By the way, you can go up to, I think, 9 screens on this. Yeah, you can go 9, so you'll have the middle one and then 4 on each side. So a lot of really neat things. And what's really cool is you can see I've got 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tall and 5 across. I think it's 5 and 4 default. It's been so long since I've run default ice cream sandwich on the Google Nexus here. You had your Google static menu bar up here, and then you had, I believe it was 5 tall and 4 wide, and I believe it was either 4 or 5 in the tray here too, or the dock. So anyway, so you've got those home screen options, and you've got drawer settings, which the drawer, if you didn't know, is when you excuse me, when you open up to this, and you've got these you know, where you can flip through your applications or your widgets. And this downloaded is, I believe, is actually added with this Gummy ROM that I have here. So go back to the settings. Alright, so you got your drawer settings, and you can just read those. A lot of really cool things to do. I didn't mess with that at all. I don't have any need to mess around with any of the drawer settings. Dock settings, this is where you can set how many pages of docks. Now, if you note the 5 icons I had down there, you can actually scroll back and forth and go through up to, I think this is 5. Yeah, 5 different docks. I just go with 1. Number of icons that you could put in the dock, you could set this, I think, up to 7. Yeah, 7. And I've got mine set to 5. Horizontal margin, infinite scrolling, the same as the thing I was showing you on the screens, and other things there. You can hide the dock divider. If you see right here, there's a little dividing line there. I can actually hide that if I want, or I can hide the dock altogether. And I've actually not even tried to hide the dock altogether, and we'll show you that and see what that looks like. We will hide that and that. Well, you don't have to. If it hides the dock, it hides that too. So let's see what it looks like now. Alright, it's got a redraw. Ooh, that really kind of spread things out a little bit now that the dock's not there. I actually kind of like that, but I like the dock because, you know, the applications that you run all the time, they've got to be there, right? So go back here and turn that back on and get back out of there. Next is your folder settings. You got folder view, preview, stack. That's how you stack it. You can fan it, put a grid, iOS. We'll change it to grid just to show you what it looks like. For folder background, we've got none, ring, square, iOS. We'll change it to iOS. I have none because it was, you know, that's what I had. And we'll see what that looks like now. So now it looks a lot like iOS. A lot like iOS. click on there and bring them up. But you see it changed that. So these are things Apex and like Nova Launcher, the other one I was using, allow a lot of different things like that to be changed with your screen and so forth. So then you got behavior settings, screen orientation, home key. You know, like if you hold down the home key, what will it do? Will it bring up a list of the applications, or will it take you back to the main screen, or whatever? So, and yeah. Alright, so yeah, that's enough about that. Then you got backup and restore for the settings and whatever, about, and then restart. So we'll just, actually, you know what, before we leave, I'll put that back the way it was. We'll go to folder settings, and we'll go back to none, and let's oops, I don't want to find, let's go to fan, just see what that looks like. I don't know, I like the other way better. So anyway, we'll go ahead into system settings and show you some of the GummyNex stuff, or GummyNex, or Gummy ROM stuff. You can see here it's got a whole menu item called Gummy Settings, and we've got about the Gummy team, and this is really neat. Got their homepage, Gummy source, and then all the developers that are part of the project with their Twitter feed and PayPal donate and whatnot. General UI settings. We've got enable 180-degree rotation, long press on back button kills the app. So if you're in an app and you hold the back button down instead of just hitting it, it'll actually close the app out completely. Enable volume controls, and that's this right here. You see you've got your normal thing. Back in the older versions of Android, you actually had different settings for different types, and as you can see here, I can individually control that volume, the speaker volume for like music and whatnot, your alerts volume, and your alarm volume. So I really like that. That's cool. That's something that Windows Phone is also missing. But anyway, ice cream sandwich, I believe, I may be wrong, but it worked up to ice cream sandwich where it had individuals like that, and then it went away with 4. So and here's those. Next is system UI tweaks, and here you have hide alarm, custom carrier type. If you look right there, it says roll tide. When I pull this down, if you look right there, it says roll tide. That's where that shows up. Clock settings, you can do clock style. I've got it turned off right now. If you look up here in the status bar, I have hide clock. We can put that back, and you can see it there. If we leave it there, clock color, I could set that. They've got a little hotkey there to set it to ICS, to the default color of ice cream sandwich, and as you can see there, it changed it there. So we're going to turn that back off because I don't want the clock there anymore. So battery types, I've got set to Gummy Fat Battery, which it's just got a little battery, and if you look real close, it tells the percentage of the battery. Here's another version, and then there is Circle Battery, and we have High Battery, or Stock, which is just like the stock one. I'm going to go to Circle Battery and leave it there for now. Use battery text, tells the actual percentage up there, as you can see. And you can change the color of that too, by the way. Allow custom text colors. Anyway, I'm not going to mess with that right now. It's more than you want to know. Battery bar. If you look up here at the top, watch this when I hit battery bar. Uh-oh. Did it not work? There it is. Yeah, it's just so low. If you see up here at the very top, that gives a percentage, you know, like percentage base. All the way over here would be 100%. So it's kind of neat. Status bar color. You can change this black bar there to, I'm not going to change it because it's a pain to put it back because there's not a black on this that I can easily get to. There it is, but it's hard to do on camera here. So, but if I clicked on here and then tapped on that color right there, it would actually turn the bar that all this is behind to that color. But we're not going to do that right now. I'm going to turn battery text back off because I forgot to. Notification toggle settings, date opens calendar. Yeah, just another setting. Soft key settings. That's these keys down here. If you watch the bar down there and you see I've got 5 across instead of the 3 that comes with it initially, or with stock ice cream sandwich. If you see, I can move there. See how it's fading out? I'm changing the transparency right there. So anyway, up top, menu location. Remember, you can put where you want the memory or the menu visibility. Always show the invisible icons. If there's no options on a screen, that will go away if I go to default. There's actually options on the screen, obviously, or okay, made a liar out of me. So anyway, we'll put that back where that was, but that's what's supposed to happen. Navigation bar color. This bar down here, if we go click on ice cream sandwich and click on there, these are going to turn blue. See what I'm saying? Okay, now we can change this back and back to white. Alright, navigation, so we can do a lot of things there. Here's the buttons that are enabled. You can turn them on or off. I can turn menu off if I want, and it goes back down to 4. I can turn search off, it goes back down to 3. I can turn them back on, close it. Navigation button order, if you wanted to have the settings over here or whatever, you could just move the menu up here. Now the menu is over here. Really kind of cool. On the fly without having to do any kind of hacks or modifications. Button glow animation, you can turn it on or off, change the how long it actually stays lit up. Long press home action. This is where you could set when you hit home, you could set it to where if you hold it down a long time, it would perform some kind of action, a shortcut, application, whatever. So anyway, power widgets. Excuse me. These are up here. If you look across the top here, I've got Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, 4G LTE switch, flashlight, which is if you watch this, if I click on that on, it uses the LED on the back of the camera with the camera to create a flashlight. So GPS and airplane mode. Now you can manage all those settings here. Show power widget, hide on change, hide indicator, hide scroll bar, and all that good stuff. And here's widget buttons. This is where you get to choose what shows up here. There's a lot of choices, and obviously you're not going to need every one of them. Toggle sync, toggle sound, toggle WiMAX, blah blah blah, and so forth. You can just click and it'll add each one there. Under here you can actually change which order they show up in the bar up there. And as you can see, I've got Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, 4G, and then the flashlight, and here Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, LTE, and the flashlight. So alright, we'll go back out of there. Excuse me again. Power widgets, lock screen settings. If you remember when we first started, you saw this is the ring lock screen, that thing where I was able to bring and carry that ball to an application. You can do an ice cream sandwich lock screen, slider, rotary revamp, and the honeycomb. And you can enable custom apps, and when you enable custom apps down here, you pick which apps you want. Or those are the regular ones. The custom apps right here underneath here, and you can see Gmail, Facebook, Yammer, if you remember seeing those on that screen there. You can set all that. Lock screen, battery percentage, music widget type. If you got music running, you can pick which version of a player that you want to have there. So anyway, pretty simple. The LED settings, this is the little LED down there that blinks if you have notifications, and you can change the way that the pulse works. So performance, here you can set your CPU and your voltages and stuff that I don't really want to mess with a whole bunch. So another thing, so that's pretty much it for the Gummy settings. Really a lot of customizations, little small things that you'd never, well, you do think of, but anyway. Let's go back in here to Apex settings and put my folders back the way they are before I forget, because I don't like that. Let's go back to stack. Alright, so another thing that has been added with built into the GummyNex or Gummy 0.9.0 ROM is Apex Launcher, which I showed you. And another thing that was added when I installed it is ROM toolbox. Now this is the pro version that I actually decided last night to go ahead and donate for, but it comes with the free version, and this ROM toolbox has a lot of things that you can do with it. I'm not going to take you through the whole thing, but I'll show you some things that I did with it. ROM Manager is pretty cool. It actually gives you a list of a lot of the ROMs that are available, and you can actually install them right here through this. You can manage them. You can do reboot recovery and go straight to there, back up your ROM, which doesn't work unless you buy an application that runs through this. Install ROM from your SD card, wipe options, blah blah blah. Go over here, and this shows the last backup I did, which is quite some time ago. But anyway, we'll get back up there. App Manager, you can do a lot of things like add apps to your SD card or whatever. Root Browser, you can actually go through and read all, mess around with all your files. This eliminates the need for a lot of third-party apps that you might get. Ad Blocker, I don't recommend using that because, websites need the money to run. Here's what I use though. I was having problems with the Android market and my resolution, and so I was able to use this build prop tweaks to change my pixel density, and I actually lowered it from 320, which is stock, down to 280, but I had to move it back to 320 to download a couple apps that I forgot to reinstall. But anyway, you can adjust your pixel density just by doing that, or you can go into the build prop editor and you can go to your down here towards the bottom, your ROSF LCD density, and you can set that by just editing it here, or you can actually get even deeper and just edit the whole file, the whole build prop file here. So get out of there. That's one thing I did by lowering the pixel density to make my icons and text smaller. Another thing that I did was I used the font installer, and as you can see, the font, if you look closely, is not what yours is probably looking like. It's a font that I took from this font installer and had it automatically install. We're going to skip this. If you can look, it's got 100, 200 fonts here that you can. All you got to do is click on it, reboot, and it'll prompt you for a reboot, and bam, you got it. Boot animations. This is where you saw the little animated thing. Most of these don't look really good on the Galaxy Nexus because they're made for different resolutions and might actually only take up that much of the screen. But some of these tablet ones down here look really good, and the one that I have as mine, I forgot what it's called, Sci-Fi Droid. Yeah, Sci-Fi Droid I think is the one that I have. But you just click on there. I'll just show you that. I'm not going to actually install one, but you click on it and you get options to install, and then go ahead and download it, and then when you reboot, it's there. So pretty simple, but ROM Toolbox got a lot of really cool feature. Boot animations, theme manager, icon changer, boot logo changer, theme chooser. I mean, there are so many things that this application does, and it's built into the Gummy. I keep wanting to call it GummyNex because I think that was the name of this same group's ROM for the Galaxy S2 or Galaxy Nexus S or Nexus S. Anyway, so it's built-in Apex launcher, which accomplishes a lot of the tweaks I've got on the front screen. Beautiful Widgets is not a free app, but it's well worth the money. The One More Clock is free, and these two are free. So that's pretty much it. I've heard a lot of good things about the battery life of this Gummy 0.9.0 release, and it's built on Ice Cream Sandwich 4.03. There's a bunch of performance tweaks. I mean, a lot of graphic user interface stuff. A lot of things added into it, as you can see. I showed you the volume rocker thing. It's got its own live wallpapers, and the actual wallpaper that I'm using in the background here, which is black, and then it fades down to the white with some kind of grunge type graphics. That's one of their backgrounds as well. So anyway, my name is Chris Legness, GottaBeMobile.com, and this is just a quick look at my new layout and my new version, ROM version, which is called Gummy, and it's version 0.9.0. Thanks for watching.